So now let's create our first file. And the structure of our project is going to be very, very simple. It's just going to contain few files, and whenever we want to get functions from one file to another, we will just be importing that file in the other file. And once we create that, once we import files, it's going to be easier for you to understand what I'm talking about. But don't worry about that for now. Now let me create the first file. So here I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to name it. The first file, I'm going to name it. Let me click on save in order to name that file. Save, I'm going to name it functions. Functions.py. Make sure that the extension is py, because this is a Python. Obviously, this is going to be a Python file. So you need to name it functions.py. And click on save, and now we have our first file. And obviously this file will contain, let me type here a comment, will contain or contains all of our functions. So whenever we want to get a function, we will just import that file in the other file that we will be creating later, and other files as well. But this file will just hold all the definitions of all of our functions. So here I'm going to create our functions. Let me start by creating our first function just for testing and making sure that this file is working. So I'm going to say def and then the name of the function. And let me zoom in so that you can see everything. Let me maximize that and then zoom in so that you can see. So in order to create a function in Python, you just type def. If you are coming from a different programming language background, this is how you can create a function in Python. You just type def and then the name of the function. Let's name it test. And then you can pass your parameters if you want to pass any parameter. Let's say text, and then colon, and then here all you need to do is that you need to type out your logic. So whatever you want to have, we will obviously be having if statements, also for and other things, but don't worry about these things. Don't worry about the syntax. The syntax is very, very simple. But the most important thing is that you need to know how to create a function, because we will be creating lots of functions. So this is our function. As you can see, very simple, def, and then test, and then the parameter if there is any parameters. And if you want to pass more than one parameter, you would just type comma and then the name of the other parameter. You can say text2 or text3, whatever you want. But for now, I'm going to be just passing one parameter. And let me here just print that text. So I'm going to say here print and then text. Text, which is this text, obviously refers to this text that we will be passing. So this is the definition of a function. And how can we call a function? Very simple. In order to call a function, all you need to do is that you need to outside the function, just call the function, which is called test, and then pass your parameter. Let's say hello or hi there, and that's it. Now if I save and run our project, here I'm gonna say, I'm gonna click on tools and then build system and then Python 3, because I have Python 3 here in Sublime Text. And then if you click on tools and then build or control and B in Mac, it's gonna build, as you can see, it's gonna build our project and run our script. And as you can see in the console, it's going to print out hi there, because we passed this parameter, which is hi there, to this function, and this function is just going to print it out. And this is the first way of executing a script in Python. But let me show you another way, because this might not work for everybody. So let me show you another way of executing a Python file. If this doesn't work for you, you can use the terminal, your operating system terminal, or you might be using another IDE or text editor. You can run your application, your Python script from there. It's obviously going to be different, but you can also use the terminal in Mac here. Just go to terminal, and then in the terminal, all you need to do in the terminal is that you need to go to the location where your folder has been created, which is the desktop. We created the scraper on our desktop. Remember, we created it here. So now in the terminal, all you need to do is that you need to cd to the desktop, and then in the desktop, you need to open the scraper. Just cd to scraper, and then hit enter. And now we are in that directory. Now we are inside this. All you need to do here is that you need to type Python 3, and then the name of the file, which is functions. So here I'm going to say functions.py, and then hit enter. And as you can see, the script will be executed, and now it here displays hi there. So it worked.